Hello.
Hi, Shrikant. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. You
So,
are Arpita or Avisha?
Avasha.
Yeah. Identical, right? I'm just trying to figure out how to differentiate.
Little bit of difference. She's little slimmer to me.
Oh,
I think it is 9:40. Should we start?
yeah, we can start. I think.
Or should we wait for 2, 3 more minutes?
Let's wait for 2, 3 more minutes. If we'll start.
Okay. Did you read all the concepts that are there?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Okay, so
Uh,
yeah.
the thing which it's little confusing is around this PE ratio, right? Like that is what see you buy shares based on future prospects or future growth, right? Uh, right.
If it's
If
a good company and you see that there's a good buying opportunity, you can consider buying. So you can just use the strategies in order for buying and selling.
not that I read this somewhere about this discount cash method or something like that. That DCF, right? There's will we use those kind of things?
What I've told you in the class, stick to that only.
Okay. This
You can just,
PE.
generally in books, whenever we read, we compare industry P and the stock P, and then accordingly we make a decision that you can do. But if it's a good company and generally good companies are available at higher P, so kind of you can ignore.
Yeah. See, do you buy the best company or do you buy the second best or third best company for a multi-bagger?
So see to it if it's a there's a story that is being changing for in case of Suzlon or in case of JP Power, there was a story change. I mean,
Hmm.
it it gave all its debt, the interest that had to be paid. So all the interest and debt was paid. So in that case, we can look for such things wherein uh, we can see that this particular stock is down by 67%. If you look at Suzlon, Suzlon is 67% down from its all-time high
Hmm.
because it had got into a debt trap due to which it was not able to come out. Now, if you look at the company's fundamentals have become strong, and also energy sector is gaining a lot of this thing.
Hmm.
There's a sectoral rotation that's observed in the this thing. So Suzlon, JP Power, Ratan India, wherein the story is actually changed. They've come out of debt, and those stocks have been down since. If you talk about their top, they are down
Hmm.
so much. So we can expect that it can, if it reaches its upper end, it'll reach maybe not in 2 3 years, but in next few years it'll reach and we'll get a huge return in that situation. So we can look up for those
Yeah.
stuff.
Now, one thing I was observing, see, for example, Tata Motors, right?
Yes.
Pre-pandemic, it was 50 rupees, 70 rupees, like that.
Yeah.
And suddenly, right? Suddenly it went to 1,000. I never bought, but but
So
the thing
Tata
is, that's how
Motors
it is.
been
Yeah.
a lot of return. I have gained a lot from Tata Motors, REC. So all these stocks, we can just look whenever there's a sector rotation, you can always look up for those stocks, provided their fundamentals are good. And since Tata Motors also have a good brand name, which accounts does not take into consideration, so we can always go for such stocks.
But yeah, it may not have that momentum like what it had before, right? Like that.
So look up for the buying situation, like the strategies that I've told you. If you're getting anything below 200 DEMA, if at all you're not applying the strategy one, also if you're getting anything below 200 DEMA, that means you can, of course, enter into that particular stock.
Anything below 200 DMA average.
So I've talked about 200 DEMA, 50-day moving average, 20-day moving average, and there's a closing candle at the down. So that could be a buying condition. If you're not meeting all these conditions, but you're getting any stock which is below 200 DEMA, then also it's the simplest thing that you can do, you can enter.
Yeah, basically for long term.
Yes, because if you consider 200 DEMA, that means in last 10 months the stock price is down and you're getting at a discounted price. And if it's a rock solid company, you can of course enter into that stock, because those companies are into business in so many years, and they are the ones that are going to perform in future. So that is something that is there.
You said Ratan India. Huh?
Ratan India. It's a company of Anil Ambani which got bankrupt, but now story is actually turned around. Things are changing in this particular company. They have bring in lot of fundamentals are improving. So if you're getting anything wherein stories are getting turned around, then of course you can consider. Like in case of Inox PVR also, because of coronavirus, the stock did not perform well because people were just went on to OTTs and all. But now if you look at Inox, this thing, the debt has drastically reduced. Although now also if you look at the fundamentals, debt is there, the negative figure is there, but it has reduced tremendously. So in that case, you can consider such stocks. So turnaround story should be there. If that is available, then of course you can consider. So when I was there, I made a reel on Instagram related to Ratan India. I got lot of trolling on this particular stock, which is Ratan India. But now I knew that it's a turnaround story and the stock has run a lot. In this last year only, this stock has actually given a good run up. So one should also just don't have to look at fundamentals. If there is a fundamental that says that this stock was into debt, this particular company was into debt since so many years, but now debt has reduced drastically, we can of course look up to the speeches of CEO and see whether this company is improving or not. If it's improving, yes, of course. But we should have conviction in those companies that this company can go upward. So for that, we need to check each and everything.
Now sales, profit, at least marginally start to increase back.
Yes, so
Something,
Suzlon
1 or 2 quarters.
always.
You see 1 or 2 quarters of a turnaround, right?
Yes. You can give some time, check it for 1, 2, 3 quarters, and then of course you can make a decision that since it's a turnaround story, you can of course look up for such companies.
So the sector rotation also happens due to turnaround, or it's
sector rotation generally happens. Now, if you look at the energy stocks or solar stocks, you'll be able to see that these companies are performing well because government objective is towards such sectors. So if government is basically focusing on such things, then of course there'll be a fund allocation towards that particular projects, like infrastructure. If you look at, so railway stocks have actually given a good run up because government focus was towards railways, infrastructure. So of course, whenever there's a fund allocation towards the sector, you will see that if these funds are being allocated, work is being done, so company will be doing good, company will be generating more profit, revenues will increase, so automatically stock price will go up. So there's a direct relation that goes. If sales improves, net profit improves, stock profits, stock prices will automatically move on upwards. So that is always there.
See, there is a PSU stocks, right? Like what do you have on this Bharat, BEL and BL?
So that
Ba-
we'll see. We'll see the
Okay.
fundamentals and that I'll talk.
Okay.
PSU stocks have also given a good run up. Now we can expect a run up in more in the private sector banks because private sector banks have not performed that well. So if you look at Kotak, HDFC Bank, these stocks have not given that much of run up. So we can expect in coming few months, or maybe it could take longer time also, but I think this will give a good run up because in last one in this year, if we talk about last 8 months also, private sector banks have not given that much of run up. In fact, we talk about HDFC Bank also, although it has given small return but not that much of return, but we can expect in coming months that private sector banks can give good run up.
Okay. IDFC first. What do you guys think about that guy?
IDFC first, that's what I'm saying.
That guy, they are betting that on that guy, right? Okay, because
Yes, because it's a smaller
Satish
bank.
Vaidyanathan.
Ujjivan Small Finance Bank is there. So all these banks have not given that much of return, but in coming few months or year, we can see that these companies will perform good because their fundamentals are good.
Yeah.
That is more important. If companies' fundamentals are good, we can expect if these stocks are not performing well and we are getting at a cheaper rate, we can keep it and then we can expect that these can give good return.
Yeah. The
But
Ujjivan used to be 70, now it came to 44, 45 like that.
yes.
That's the right time to.
So check the technicals that I've talked about.
Mm.
Check the technicals. If you're getting any buying entries and all, then of course you can make entries in such stocks. Should we start with
Yeah, we can start. Yeah.
I'll just share the screen. Are you able to share see the screen properly?
Yeah.
Okay. So in just a second. So previously we had looked upon a lot of fundamentals like pledging percentage, what is the market capitalization, what should be the dividend yield. So all these things we've already gone through each and everything like ROC, what is ROE, what is book value, what is face value, and what is PE. So all these things we've just gone through. Now we'll just look at few important things like the important things. What do you think should you do you guys used to do fundamental analysis before? Is it that you never used to do it? What was the situation like?
I used to see the fundamental, but I've not explored more.
Okay. So yes, yeah, tell me.
No. After our class, and I want to kind of go a little bit of deep dive reading and then slowly start jumping into a few
Yes,
shares.
yes. So other income, I think we had talked about this yesterday also, that if a company is getting any income outside business is other income. So it can be from FD, it can be from the rental income. If company has actually a building or a land for which they've given that particular land on rent, so that could be something that they'll be getting a rental income, or there can be they could be earning dividends from the companies that they've invested in. So earning dividends could be one.
So
So all
it is
these,
a good sign then.
yes, of course, if a company is getting other incomes, then of course it's a good sign that they're getting income from other sources as well. So if you look at, let's see, yeah, let's see Reliance itself. So if we look at the results, so if you look at other income, so you will be able to see it. Other incomes are there. Sometimes it is shown more. So in Reliance, if you look at in quarterly revenue, sometimes net profit are also postponed. The one that we read yesterday, like 11% was a taxation that was shown in March 2023, and the that particular was shown in order to show a higher profit. Likewise, in other income also there are some manipulations that are done. That's why I was saying we are not required to see quarterly results. We are generally you should generally see this thing P&L statement, which is the annual statement rather than quarterly. But if you are looking at quarter, then look for quarter to quarter results.
So when
And
you look at, right, March 2024, it is the same net profit, but earning per share, right, looks similar.
which one?
The net profit, right?
Yes, net profit was shown 21,000 crore. So
Yeah.
that was shown deliberately in order to. So that's why that's what I was talking, that they've shown lesser tax. Tax they've shown is 11%. In general case, if you look at it, is more than 20%. If you look at the previous data, it is generally around 20%, not 11%. So sometimes they postpone the tax burden onto the next quarter. So that is generally the manipulations done in order to lower or up the net profit. So that is something that company does. Okay.
Hmm.
So that is important that we need to look at. So sometimes if other FIs and DIs want to accumulate more of one particular stock, sometimes there is manipulations that are done in the quarterly results. So sometimes in order to show profit of the companies, they show less tax or postpone the taxation with interest. So that is something abnormalities that you can see in tax or in other income. So in other income also, in December 2021, if you look at other income, it was 7,000 crores.
Where?
7,000 crore, which is not the general case. If you look at the other income, generally
Oh.
around 2, 3, 4, but not 7,000. 7,000 is something which is not normal in other quarters. If you look at it, is something that is shown. So that's why I'm saying there are a lot of abnormalities that are seen in taxation or in other incomes. So that numbers can be good or bad in terms of sales or net profit.
Oh
So
my God.
these are basically the manipulations that are done.
I will not buy Reliance.
Why?
I will not buy Reliance.
Why?
Huh?
You get at a discounted price, then you can consider.
Yeah. But
If
if
it
the
is
numbers are
below
like that, right,
200,
how do you believe them?
huh?
See, it's like a allowed manipulation, correct?
No, every company does it. There are a
Just
lot of this thing income that is generated in cash. So that cash is also this thing deposited in bank and is also shown as other income. So every company does it. You cannot this thing. But this is done in order for FIs and DIs to buy. If they show if they show that the company is not performing well, net profit is not that great, so that time people will be just selling it off because companies' results are not that great. But that can be a good opportunity for FIs and DIs to accumulate that particular stock. So these are some manipulations or abnormalities which are done at taxation level, or it could be at other income level. Now let's understand what is depreciation. What do you mean by depreciation? Do you have any idea what is depreciation?
You buy something and the value goes down.
Yeah,
Assets.
that's basically the wear and tear of the company. Okay.
Yeah.
So, in a company, so for example, in a company, I bring in a laptop So that laptop I bought, or maybe computer that has a lifespan of 3 years. So now we are talking about, just a second. We are talking about depreciation. So that laptop that I've bought is for 3 years. The lifespan is 3 years. Okay. So the computer that will be used for the period of 3 years. So in this case, the expense that company will show is not for one particular month. It'll be shown for next 3 years because it's an entry. So in next 3 years, year one, it'll be shown as an expense, year two, year three. Although you've paid this particular amount, maybe 90,000 could be the cost of this particular laptop or computer. So this cost will be shown for the next 3 years, year one, year two, year three. So as an expense, it will be shown as 30,000 for next 3 years. Okay. So although this expense was done at the first place only, on the first month only, so this is no more an expense, but this is used by companies for manipulating also to show increase or decrease the profit. So this 30,000, if we divide it equally among 12 months, this will fall to be around 2,500 will be shown as an expense, and this expense is shown as depreciation. So depreciation, you will see this particular depreciation in P&L statement, as well as you will see this particularly in quarterly results. Okay. However, this particular depreciation of 90,000 was paid already at the first place in the first month itself. So at the time of buying, the entire payment was done, but the entire payment is not shown as an expense. Expense is shown as proportionately over a period of time, over the lifespan of that particular asset. So it means that when we have already paid the amount for the particular computer, then at the time of showing this particular expense as depreciation, we are not paying anything anymore. We are not paying this thing 30,000, 30,000, 30,000 every time, because this 90,000 is already being paid. Now, when we are showing 2,500 as an expense, it means this expense is not going to anyone. This is just an accounting entry to calculate the right profit or loss amount. Okay. So
So
company
basically, since it is using that asset during those 3 years, it is
Yes.
allowed to kind of spread that
Yes.
asset value.
I'm saying it's just an accounting entry which is done, but this amount is already paid. This expense has already been done. So, for example, if there's a if I set up a factory, and this factory for the setting of the factory, I've spent 100 crores, and that factory has an estimated life of supposedly 20 years. So this 100 crore will be shown as an expense for next 20 years. Proportionately, the amount is already paid initially, this 100 crores. So if you divide 100 crores to 20, you will see that 5 crores will be shown in the this thing P&L and quarterly results for the next 20 years. Every year you will see. So this 5 crore as an expense is not a cash outflow. This cash outflow has already happened, which is 100 crores. Okay. So this was paid already. So let's just look at one of the examples also. Let's just take JP Power. Sorry. JP Power, if you look at, let's just see this thing. So if you look at the depreciation amount that is being showed is 635 crore. That was in March 2026, and net profit that was shown was a loss of 243 crore. So likewise, the amount was paid initially, the depreciation, or in any of the factories that they've put in amount, but this depreciation amount is shown recurrently on, on every year that you will see that this depreciation is being shown. So it is just an accounting entry. Okay. So likewise, there's also in balance sheet, if you look at, there are other liabilities that are there. So what do you mean by other liabilities? What do you mean by other liabilities? Any idea?
Current liabilities.
Other liabilities are basically when we have to pay the amount, but that is still not paid. That's basically other liabilities. We have
Oh.
to pay in future this liability on, and if that particular company has a liability, they have to pay to that particular that has still not paid, so that has to be paid. So company generally deduct, for example, if you're doing a job, you might be seeing there's a TDS that is being deducted, or there's a PF that is deducted every this thing from your salaries every month. So company is deducting, for example, in case of gratuity also, you will be seeing that they're deducting gratuity also every month. But we are paying it for the for every month from our salary, right? But company is showing this as an expense, but company is actually not giving it to the government. So that is something that is there. So other liabilities fall into such head that these liabilities are there, which company has it, which company is not depositing to the government, but they have a liability which is still not paid but has to get paid. So that is something other liabilities. Are you getting it? So
That
likewise,
means lower the amount, it is better for the company, right? Because it has to pay. Over a period, this liability has to come down.
so this liability has to be paid over a period of 5 years. Depends what is the process like. Like in case of gratuity, gratuity is generally paid to the employee after every 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And PF is also deducted. So depends on the time duration of that particular head. So that is there. Apart from that, depreciation or cash equivalent also help us to know what is the story like. You should observe what is the depreciation, what is the other incomes like, in order for you to know how is the company operating. So that is something that you should look at. So other liabilities we've talked about, like other liabilities, what has not been paid but still has to be paid. So that is something that is other liabilities. Apart from that, what do you mean by fixed assets? Fixed assets. What are fixed assets?
Like the factory and things like that, buildings, company
Yes.
buildings.
Yes. So that is all fixed assets. So you can just look at it whether fixed assets are what is the situation like. That's basically the operational capacity. Likewise, what do you mean by CWIP?
No idea.
CWIP is basically capital work in progress. That's basically under installation. If they have taken any of the project, you'll see that the CWIP will be more. When the project gets completed, it gets under the head of fixed assets. So if a company is setting up one more factory, and that factory will be operational after 1 year also. So if we have to spend supposedly 200 crore rupees in acquiring the land and installing that particular building, then that amount will be shown in CWIP. So that 200 crore which is acquired for land, and that land is being built up. So that land which is being built up will be shown in the CWIP. Once that particular land or factory is built up, then you'll see that CWIP will go to the fixed asset. That number will just move to fixed assets. So once the factory will be ready, this amount will be moved to fixed asset. So CWIP also give us the idea what is happening in future, if a company is going to have much more revenue or not. So you can look for that thing, that CWIP talks about the company has a this thing project that is being under this thing operation, and what is the future expansion like. So all these things we get to know from the CWIP. Okay.
Suddenly it dropped, and after that looks like more or less constant.
So that means company does not have that much of projects. You can just look up for the next you can just look up for the P&L also and then make a holistic decision. You don't have to just look up for CWIP or fixed assets. You should also look for other fundamentals and then holistically make a decision, not on just basis of one particular parameter. Look at the sales, whether sales is increasing or not. Look at the profits, whether profits is increasing or not, and then make a proper decision. Okay. So whenever there is a CWIP which is increasing, then in that case, we'll see fixed assets will increase. Likewise, what do you mean by fixed assets? We've already talked. What do you mean by investments? What do you mean by investments?
Maybe they are investing in other companies.
So yeah, that you can see, for example, if you want to look for investments, you can look for the annual reports. The one that we had talked about yesterday. You can just look for annexures and just see what are the future projects that are there. So you can just look for those things. Look for investments and everything. You just need to go through each and everything and then you'll be able to get it. What are their future prospects? If you don't want to read it, probably what next best alternative you can do is listen to the CEO's this thing interviews, and then you'll be making a better decision. Okay, so you can look for the investments that the company is trying to do. So that is something that is there. And apart from that, do you have any doubt that you want to ask? Is there any doubt?
No, fine.
Tell me. Okay. Deepak, do you have any doubt till here?
No, got through.
What are you saying?
No, got
No
through.
doubt?
No.
Okay. So did you had a chance to basically see all the recordings that were there?
Which you uploaded in WhatsApp group?
Yes.
No, not yet seen, man.
See to it so that
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you have any doubt, you can ask.
yeah, definitely.
So also, next thing that we were also talking about,
Can you go
whether
back? Yeah.
yes, tell
If
me.
you can talk about this cash flow, right? Something.
Cash flow is not that important. You can just ignore also. You can just see whether cash is coming from the investing activity or not. But all these things are already there in the balance sheet, P&L statement, quarterly results. You can look, but you should look for quarter to quarter, not quarter to other quarter. So that is something that you should look at. Apart from that, you can also look for the turnaround stories, which is very important. So you can just look for stocks which have come down approximately 67%, like the one that we were talking about, JP Power, Suzlon, Ratan India. So all these stocks had actually a turnaround story. So if there is a big fall that we could observe in these companies, we should just look for the reason of fall. What was the reason of fall? So that we need to look at if that company is able to recognize the reason of fall and what all steps that they are doing. We should just look for those things. Like in case of Motilal Oswal also, there was fall in revenues, net profit fell, due to which there was also a share price that fell. So we should just look for the reason of fall. What is the reason? Company, what is the track record of the product since past? What is the past performance like? And then we can look for whether they are improving or not. So that is something we should look at. For example, in Suzlon, JP Power, their future prospect that is observed because government is making such policies which are more towards green energy, and there are a lot of steps that are taken. A lot of startups are rotating around the green energy. So you should look for those stocks. And at the time of meeting these things, like if there's a turnaround story and government is also doing something around that, we can of course find something or the other. Like we were talking about the example of Motilal Oswal. If you look at the business, the stock price went below 67%. Just a second, yeah. So there was a fall that was observed in the business. And what do you know what does this Motilal Oswal does? What is their business model like?
They have mutual funds. What they
Yes,
do.
so they are into mutual funds, they are into PMS service. Apart from that, what all they are into? They are into stock brokers. So there are a lot of income streams that they are getting. So one should see what is the reason of fall. So initially, if you might have observed that NBFCs were not regulated by the RBI, but after 2014, the situation is really improved. The NPAs of the banks are not that much. So that is something we should look for. So, not just that, we should also see. So, whenever you are recognizing such businesses, try and understand what is the business like, how they are trying to extract their revenues. So, if their revenues are increasing, what is the so there was a downfall that was observed. After that, what all steps they did to recover their debt. So, in case of Suzlon, if you look at their balance sheet has really improved, their P&L statements have really improved. Now, what are the reason for improvement? Initially, they were debt because the interest payments of Suzlon was too much. Although their sales were improving on regular basis, but the interest payment that they were doing was too much, due to which the net profit that company used to make was usually not a profit, it was a loss that was there. So one, you should realize what is the reason of fall. If they're trying to improve it, then it can be a good company to invest in. So that is something that is there that you should look at. So if you are looking for any of the businesses, try and understand their business. What is the income stream that they're earning their profits from? Okay. So we have also compared a lot of companies, like we had compared Lux Industries with Page Industries. So now we got to know where we can identify the opportunities. Likewise, we observe Mrs. Bector Food in comparison to the Britannia, which is a bigger player in the market. But this company has a huge potential to grow. Likewise, Angel One, which can grow up to the level of Zerodha, or it can be a bigger player in coming future. So all these things we should realize. And likewise, this JK Paper, because paper industry is huge, and entry into paper industry is not that easy, because setting up a factory and operating it from the start is really difficult, and entry into paper industry uh, is not that easy. If any player wants to enter into paper industry, there are a lot of entry barriers towards the paper industry. So that is something that you can look up to. And likewise, there is also another, which is 5 paisa. Do you know what is 5 paisa?
Similar like Angel One.
Yes. So that is also a smaller fish, but this can grow up to a bigger fish, because these their market cap is not that great, but these
Zerodha is private, right?
yes,
Yeah.
this is also a private entity. 5 paisa, Angel One. They have their own.
Private meaning they have IPO, right? It is traded in the market, but Zerodha is not traded in the market, right?
Yes. Likewise, there can be other, like if you look at a lot of other stocks are there. Did you just apply the strategies and see which all stocks you can consider buying? Did you had a chance? So what did you observe after basically looking at all the companies that are there? Did you had a chance to look at those companies? V40, V40 next. Is there any trend that is being formed? Tell me.
Need to explore, not a division, no. I've been looking at your what to say in Instagram. Sometimes
To look at But you should look at the companies also, no? The strategies
No,
that I
yeah,
talked about.
correct.
Now
Whatever you
you
list there, right? It is also part of that V40, V40 next companies.
but I'm a this thing now. I can make a bigger risk also. So you should observe as per your this thing. I've already shared it with you, and I've shared all the premium this thing strategies with you guys. So you should just apply it and actually
Okay.
make something out of it rather than just depending on me now.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yes.
No,
So
no, yeah.
so this was all about the fundamental analysis. If you guys have any doubt, then you can ask. Do you guys have any doubt? Tell me.
How do you,
The gallery part. Do you guys have any doubt as such?
yeah, you have anything else to cover?
Everything is covered.
Done. No.
Now you will be able
We need to
to
have a few more days of class.
everything is covered. Now it's your part. You need to actually apply all the strategies, look at the fundamentals, and make something good out of it.
See, but when it comes to right in paper and things like that, right? So they come up with a new company and things like that, right? They write articles on value research or these kind of things, right?
Mhm.
How do you go about looking into that actually?
So read the entire paper, see if it's a viable thing or not. Now you're capable to understand. So
Yeah,
if you look at the fundamentals, what all things you need to look at, P&L statement, balance sheet, you should look at all the fundamental, what should be the debt to equity, what should be the return on capital
yeah,
employed, and what should be the market capitalization. So all these things you should look and make a wise decision yourself, because now you've taken whatever is
yeah,
required to actually make a decision.
yeah. You're given the GM.
So
One more thing. You would generally, right? Is there any pattern observed in the stock market, right? With regards to generally this month stock go down, stock go up, anything of that nature is there in Indian stock market?
that is always there. Stock will go up and down. That is the general nature of stock market. But you should know what is the buying condition, what is the selling condition. So that is something that you should actually know, because by after applying the strategies that I've told you, you'll be able to make a decision like V20 strategy, head and shoulder pattern, cup with handle pattern, simple moving average. If you're getting anything below 200 DEMA, that could be a discounted price that you're getting in. So you can trade in all the fundamentally strong stocks, and buying and selling conditions I've already declared how you need to actually look at.
Mhm. You can use, see, when you buy for the long term, that exit criteria is based on,
So in that case, you can keep it for a longer duration, doesn't really matter, but you should know the company. If that company has a good future prospect, then of course you can keep it for a longer duration.
5 to 10 years, 10 years.
So the trading strategies that I've talked about is for the shorter duration, wherein whenever you get 15-20%, you can exit. So minimum we look up is 20%. But in the strategy that I talked about, simple moving average, sometimes it can be less than 20% also, but on average it is more than 20-25%. So that is something that is there. So that is something.
But if you
that
combine technicals with fundamentals, then you will not be stuck anywhere.
yes.
Yeah, techno
Like
fundamental.
if you choose a
techno fund-
bad company that didn't had good fundamentals, it might run for 2 to 3 days,
But
but
not more than that.
but after maybe a week, maybe 1 month, but for after some time it'll fall. That is for sure, and you will be stuck somewhere. But if you are combining both the things together, then you will never be stuck because you have seen the fundamentals. It'll eventually grow only.
Sorry
Right
to
now, it
interrupt.
might
Who
be
is talking, ma'am?
What are you saying, Deepak?
Sorry to interrupt, Rohan. Who is the other person talking?
I am her twin sister. So we both are twins. I took your first class.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
we both are twins.
Acha, I came to know today. I didn't know.
You've actually missed.
I think he came for the first day. Not sure.
You were there in the first
But-
class, right?
You
I
have
was
a home
for the
office?
first class.
You have a home office? You have a board?
This is our bedroom.
This is our
Oh. Yeah, I saw some board in the background. I was just wondering, is that a board or
no
something?
board is there.
No board
Oh,
is.
okay.
It's a
just
mirror.
this is a mirror.
Oh, okay, maybe reflection. Okay. So how do you kind of portfolio wise, right? If I want to get into one share, for example, Switzerland, right? Okay, Switzerland, should I buy in the next 6 months for 10 lakh rupees, or should I buy in bulk? What is that?
You can,
what is-
depending on your risk appetite, you can allocate the funds. But if you'll allocate in just one stock, then you'll be stuck. So your
So that's
portfolio
why
should be
the
very well
strategies that-
diversified.
So the strategies that I've talked about, you should always invest 3%, not more than that, in one particular stock. But in few strategies I've talked about, the maximum allocation that you can do in one particular stock is 9%. Or max 10%, but let's just stick to the rule, which is 9% that goes around in one particular stock, in one particular trade.
No, it is about the trade getting in. I'm talking about, okay, for the next 5 years, 10 years, I want to hold certain stock, right? For example, a private bank, I'm thinking IDFC First Bank will be maybe 400 rupees in the next 5-7 years, right? And
You
that is
can
my
look for
prediction.
a smaller players like Mrs. Vector Food can be one. There can be Angel One, which has a potential that it can grow. Like Geo Financial is one, wherein you can look for these stocks, which
So
has a
if you have 10
potential-
lakh rupees, right, you don't put the entire money at one shot, right?
Yes, that is something. If you are creating a portfolio of 10 lakh rupees, you can just invest 3% or max 10%, or let's just stick to the rule that is 9% to one particular stock, one particular trade, not more than that. If your portfolio size is 10 lakh, if it's 1 crore, then of course you can just do it. But you should stick to the rule, which is 9%, maximum 10%, not more than that.
How about the number of shares in your portfolio? For example, if you
It should be
over a period you have 50 lakh,
25%.
50 lakh, right? 50 lakh portfolio,
Yes.
right? Over a period you are able to pull in 50 lakh,
Yes.
right? Will you buy 10 shares or you buy 5 shares?
It should be if
what-
your portfolio size is this thing 50 lakh rupees, then divide that 50 lakh into 20-25 stocks in between that only.
or 20. See, that means you will be repeating, right, in the same sector sometimes.
So you can diversify accordingly. Like if you're putting
Yeah.
something in energy, put something else in other sector.
Like
it's
basically, depending on your risk appetite, you can allocate your fund. If you are creating a high risk portfolio, then you can put more money in like small cap or mid cap companies. But if you are like more safe, you're playing a safe game, then probably you can look for large cap companies, depending on your risk appetite.
if you want to play safe, you can go for a good companies. But if you want to save little riskier,
But
then
safe में return कम मिलेगा. Like in safe stocks, you will get lower return. But in small and mid cap companies that you're looking at, then probably you will be able to get.
But the name of the stocks I've already shared it with you. So that are rock solid companies. If you're getting at a discounted price, you can of course invest that much of money.
How do you know like sector rotation is happening, right? For example,
You can look it on trend line. There's a section where you can see
Sector rotation.
sector rotation.
That is happening. Also, you can just look at the returns. If you look at the returns of energy sector, you'll automatically
Inox,
see
Wind, like
Inox, Wind, REC. So all these stocks have actually given a good run up. So from these stocks only you'll be able to recognize, like Suzlon is the one that has given a good run up. So energy sector is actually giving a lot of return. So that is
When
something
it gives,
that-
right, at least it gives it 2 times, 3 times, 4. It's like a multi-bagger for sure.
you
Most of
can
the
look
time.
it at if you are investing for long duration, then you can look for which companies or which sector will grow for next 10 to 12 years. Like, EV will be growing. There's so much demand for EV, AI, solar. So for solar, a lot of states and these things are working on that. So obviously you can look for, instead of going for a specific stock, look at a bigger picture. Look at sector. Which sector will be moving for next 10 to 12 years? Then you can, after identifying the sector, you can come down to different stocks. Then probably, like, if you have identified that EV will work, then you can come down to EV stocks. Which EV stocks will work? Then probably you can look at this EV stock I am putting in my portfolio. Then these two are good, I'm putting these two stocks in my portfolio. Then solar you can identify, then AI you can identify accordingly. And you can also look for, like, what is government, like every year there's the budget, right? So government will be focusing on few particular sector. Like this year government had a lot of focus on defense and railway, so those stocks gave a huge run up. During the COVID time, there was no like, people were not traveling, so there was the Indigo, and these stocks didn't move much. But when the economy opened up, then these stocks also start running. So probably you have to see the condition at that time, and you have to see what is coming in the budget. That is also very important.
So generally, budget is released on 1st of February. You can just listen to that particular budget speech that goes around.
Now, I see this, right, many people talking about rural. Within rural, right, agriculture sector, chemical, fertilizers. Do you see that traction in the next couple of years?
Not that much. Agriculture is, although it said it's the backbone of India, but not really. You get
Not
that
really.
much of return.
Fertilizers. and
Sugar,
things like
sugar
that.
industry.
Sugar
will be
industry you can look at, because sugar industry, ethanol is something that will be producing, and that will be having huge demand in coming future. So that is something that you can look for, but not really agriculture. But few agriculture stocks are there, but not really agriculture sector is something that we should look for. Although there are a lot of schemes towards agriculture, but see too, whenever there's a budget that is being announced, look at the maximum fund allocation that is going around. So this time the maximum fund allocation was towards the railways, infrastructure, solar. So look for the maximum fund allocation that goes around.
Yeah, I see there's something in Instagram, it came with this morning. Somewhere I saw BEL. Should
Okay.
you pump in BEL? I'm thinking it will
BHE.
like Belpuri.
Just a second. We'll check the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Because we have lot of stocks. Currently,
Yeah.
we are not trading in BHEL. It's BEL, okay.
But it is around 265 or 270, something like that.
Okay. So I've already shared you a list of stock. Try and trade in those
PSU, it
stocks.
doesn't contain PSU. I think first day I said government avoid.
You can look for it. Depends if that particular
because a huge amount of money is put in there on projects, right? They will set.
You can copy Ace Investors also. They try and identify very small companies.
Which one?
Ace Investors,
like Dolly Khanna,
Vijay Kedia, Ashish Kacholia. So there you can find the list of Ace Investors. Ace Investors are basically once those have more than 1% in a company.
So they are basically HNIs that.
So they know in and out of any of the companies. Like Vijay Kedia invests a lot. That he invested a lot in Tejas Networks, this Atul Auto,
Tina
Tina
Rubber.
Rubber. So these stocks have given a huge run up and they are still moving. So you can identify what moves are the ace investors taking. Like
Yes,
stock.
investors, is that a website or
Ace investors are big investors. You can
Fundamental.
find on this thing, trendline.com, or you can
trendline.com?
find the portfolio of Vijay Kedia or portfolio of Dolly Khanna. In the portfolio, you will find the stocks of these big investors. So
Oh.
you can just click on that stock and see what are the fundamentals if you're looking it for a longer horizon. And if you want to trade in that company, then probably you can look for technicals.
Oh. Tijori Finance, right? There is something also came up for fundamentals when I was Googling for tools some time back. What do you think about Tijori? Have you heard of this Tijori Finance?
All are equally good.
Equally
All
good.
the stocks are equally good. But the techniques that I've told you, apply it and then make a wise decision.
Yeah.
So here, if you're talking about BEL, if you get it around 200 DEMA, then you can consider it. But there's no pattern that is being formed. If at all you get something of a technical pattern, then of course you can make a move.
Now it is not coming to.
But if you get a discounted price, then of course.
Can you share the screen? Kind of.
Yes.
What your
fundamentals are good. Just a second.
Yeah, yes, sure. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. Are you able to see the screen?
Yeah.
So if you look at fundamentals, market cap is good. If you look at the ROC, which is more than 30%, it is really nice. If you get this particular stock at discounted price, then of course you can take an entry. And if you see stock PE, generally we don't compare it, but if you just look at it, just a second. If you compare stock P with industry P, then also it is undervalued.
Where did you see the industry P?
Told you don't need to actually look at industry P, but for your reference, you can look at. But if it's really good stock, then you can just ignore also.
No problem. Here, where do you see the industry P in this page itself?
So there's an industry P
industry P. Okay.
Okay, so if you look at the P&L statement, the sales are improving. And not just improving, it is all-time high and it is consistently increasing. Apart from that, net profit is also increasing. And if you look at the balance sheet is also sound, not that bad. Borrowings is compared to reserves. Reserves are very high. If you look at borrowings is a small chunk of reserves. So that is there. Fixed assets are increasing. CWIP is also increased. So it is a good stock all in all. It's a fundamentally good stock. If you talk about FIs, DIs, they are also heavily invested. And wherein FIs and DIs are little bit reduce their holding, but not that much. If you talk about FIs have reduced a little bit and DIs have reduced by 2%. Okay. So that is something that is there. And if we look at the technicals, fundamentally company is strong. And from here, if we look at from its all-time high, it is approximately 13% down, 14% down, not that much. And if we see any of the patterns, if they are being formed, so it is very much above its 200 DEMA. So if you get something lower in this case, then probably you can catch off.
Which one is the green one? Is the 200 DEMA?
So if you look at No, black one is the 200 DEMA. So if you look at this also, it is 10%. If you apply the V20 strategy, which is applicable on any stock, so if you look at that also, so no, there's a red candle in between. So
But you mentioned, right, the 200 will come first, right? Here it is not, that pattern is not coming.
pattern is not being formed. Even in case of Knoxwell also, there is no pattern that is being formed.
This is
Here
another
200 has to come first, right?
So yeah, you can just look for the cup with handle pattern or something of that sort if that is applicable. If at all you get at a lower price, then of course you can consider buying it. Yeah, you were saying something, Deepak? So that's
This
So-
is another new strategy, right?
yeah, you were saying something?
Hi, Avisha. I'm
Hi.
asking
You
like
are
this is
late.
because I went to the hospital and I came back just now.
What happened?
I said you about the water problem.
Oh, that is why.
That's why.
Okay. So if you are creating like a 50 lakh portfolio for high risk, in large cap, you can just write down, you can put 25%, in mid cap, you can put 30%, in small cap, you can put 25%, and penny stocks, you can put 20% if you are looking for a high risk portfolio. And if you're looking at moderate risk, Swagat, we were Shri Krishnan was asking, like he want to create a big portfolio, how much percentage should we put in which stock?
Large,
So
you said how much?
like if you there are three, you can be a moderate risk investor, high risk, or a low risk. So I'll just write it down. If you're looking at a high risk, then in large cap you can put 25%, mid cap you can put 30%. I'll just write it down.
So in large cap, you can put 25%. In mid cap, you can put 30%. But again, the one particular stock, you don't have to put more than 9%. It can be 10%, but not more than that. That's the general rule that will hold for every portfolio that you're creating. Whether it's a high risk portfolio, moderate risk, or it can be a low risk. So in penny stocks, it'll be 20%. And if you're creating any portfolio which has moderate risk, then in that case, you can put in, for large cap, you can put in 45%. For mid cap, you can put in 25%. Small cap, 20%. And penny stocks, you can put in 10%. And if it's a low risk, then maximum goes to the large cap and minimum goes to the penny stocks. So if it's large cap, then it'll be around 65%. And if it's low risk, then in medium cap, you can put 20%. And if it's a small cap, you can put in 10%. And in case of penny stocks, you can put in 5%. Okay.
And a penny stock is what range would be, you should consider penny stock?
Penny stocks, it shouldn't be basically.
So different people have different criteria. Like some people like Ashish Kacholia and all, they take up companies from 500 crores also. I myself take from 3,000 crore and above, but if I analyze a good company that is 1,500 crore, I find that it is belonging to the EV sector right now. What's the trend? I'm looking at EV sector. Then probably I can go for a like small company also, but the risk will be accordingly. Like depending on your risk appetite, you have to make the decision in what company you have to put in how much money. So it totally depends on your risk appetite. As a starter, you can start with a moderate risk. So accordingly, you can create your portfolio.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, even in penny stock, see what I see, they may not have profit this, that, right? Penny stock, their behavior would be different, right? What is that in penny stock you should look for? The same rules may not completely be applicable, right?
Penny stock, see for ROCE, no? ROC, if you have 2-3 companies, you can copy Ace Investors, because there are so many companies in the stock market, and tracking these many companies in the market is really tough. So you can look at the news and you can just search for the acts of the Ace Investors, like I told you the names: Ashish Kacholia, Vijay Kedia. For long term, you can look for Ramdev Agarwal, Dolly Khanna. So there's a list of Ace Investors from which you can copy the trades. That is very easy. You can look I think 2 days back, this company named this stock is acquired by Ashish Kacholia and one more person, and they purchased the stock, and within a week the stock gave a return of 27.5%. So Dolly Khanna, no, sorry, Mukul Agarwal and Ashish Kacholia bought stake in this company. Now I was also trying to purchase this company, but I didn't get it because it was creating its higher highs. Within a week, it gave 27% return. The name of the stock is Ravindra Energy. So it is belonging to this sector, and this sector is moving crazy. So you can bet on the sector, as I said.
So basically, you can, what you need to do.
Where do you find this? Like you guys, where do you find the list of
So I'll
Ace
share.
investors?
You
So-
can
Yeah.
you can look at the news. You can look you can search for Dolly Khanna.
So I
No,
have
no, I will
lot of
search.
watch
Yeah, you
list
give the
which is
list. Yeah,
I'll share you the
that's
list
a
of
list.
Dolly
Yeah.
Khanna. I'll share you the list of Dolly Khanna, wherein all the stocks which are held by Dolly Khanna are there, wherein you can also see which are the penny stocks like Hitan, chemicals and fertilizer. So all these are penny stock, which is just 81 rupees. So likewise, there are a lot of stocks. I'll share you all the stocks which are there in Dolly Khanna's portfolio, and accordingly you can just see.
So you have to be very active on these stocks.
If you want to play safe, the strategies that I've told you and the companies that I've shown you is the one that you can opt for. If you want to be there all the time and see the moves of HNIs and FIs and DIs, then of course, in that case, you can just this thing.
And give like 10 names of good people, right?
Okay,
Who you
that
could
I'll
follow.
share.
Yeah.
You can just write Dolly Khanna, Ashish Kacholia.
Mukul Agarwal.
So you need to see economic times, right?
Yes, you can look Economic Times, DSIJ, Dalal Street Journal, what else?
Tijori is one.
Financial Times, just the stock part, Money Control. So there are a lot of them you can look at. Money Control you can look at.
I think even you can copy small cap fund companies.
Yeah,
large
yeah.
cap fund.
Like I was trying to buy this company. I wanted to buy a lot of stocks, but I was not able to buy only because there are only buyers who want to buy, and there are no sellers for this company, because this stock has been into news for some time, 2-3 days now. So I was trying to buy this stock, but I wasn't. So there might be times that you might not be able to get the stock also. मतलब एक week में this stock gave 27%. That is huge. And today also this stock grew about 4.55%.
See, they are trying to, in that sense, right? They think it is not manipulated. See, if they are not able
So
to
you
buy.
have to be very active on these stocks. If you are not like very active, then probably don't do this.
Then go for the
save.
strategies that
Now,
are
these people, whoever HNI people, generally, you think you can go long term with them, their shares?
So that's why I'm
Long
saying
term, then you can look for people who do long term only, like Ramdev Agarwal. He do long term investing. Most of the stocks are for long term only. You can look the market capitalization of the company. If it's a large cap, then probably you can see
Okay.
that.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
Individual.
Ramdev Agarwal does. You can see every investor and trader have different strategy. So like
if you
this
listen to their interviews also, you will get to know what
Manish
strategy.
Pobrai. So he earned a lot of return from Edelweiss, Suntech Reality, and Rain Industries. So he did a lot of this thing, and other name was
Irida, some energy policy company, right? Energy something. IEA or something.
Edelweiss.
Yeah, Edelweiss. He
Yeah.
also, sometime 8 months back, I saw that IEA stock, right? Who sets the energy policy?
IEX.
IEX.
Indian
yeah.
Energy Exchange.
Yeah, Indian Energy Exchange.
That is
That
also
guy recommended Monish for buy only. I didn't purchase. Now I'm thinking, oh my God, these guys are have something in their head.
Yeah, but you
Ahead
have
of
to
time.
be very active on that stocks
Yeah.
then. If you want to be lazy, then go for mid and large cap companies and let it grow. But if you are investing in small cap company, it might be in circuit for some time, then probably it might start falling also. So if you are investing in this like risky stocks, then you have to be quite
See,
active.
these are all
Otherwise,
monopoly,
stick
right?
to my
IEX and all
policy
fundamentally
that I've
monopoly
told you.
stocks, right? Monopoly.
Yeah,
type of-
monopoly, CDSL, like CDSL in our previous batch, there was a guy, he invested about 75 lakhs in CDSL 3 days before the stock split was to be announced. So he made about 8.5 lakhs in 2 to 3 days, but the investment amount was big, like 75 lakhs for just CDSL.
75 or maybe more than that.
So but then he was stuck also, because on that day, after the stock split was announced, that person have to hold that stocks for 2 to 3 days before that comes to the person's account. He sold it that day only. So he was like, will I get +1 stock or not?
Because before the bonus is announced, you have to actually keep that particular stock. If it is not there by the end of the day, then in that case you won't be getting the bonus also. So that is something that is important. So he thought
purchased it again.
So he thought I'll get the bonus. So I just square up the position that I have. So that was something that he did a blunder on.
So you don't have to, if there's a stock split like in Reliance, the stock split will be announced. So if you're purchasing in
But don't purchase at a higher price, try and purchase at a lower price. Business goes on this basis only. Try and purchase the stocks at a discounted price and sell it at a higher price, which is why we apply all the strategies that were taught to you in the class.
Yeah, correct. No,
Every investor, every trader have a different ball game altogether. Everyone have a different thinking style. You have to develop your own thinking style. So you can probably copy also. So copy also makes a difference, I feel. This Manish Prabrai, so this person he is called a copycat investor, and he shamelessly copies the trade. And he so you can also do
Yeah.
this. Anyways, we are here to make return, no?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that
Why
guy.
do fall for
that-
anything that I won't copy? You can copy and make returns. We are
Yeah.
here to make money, no?
Yeah. See, that article came about Manish a few days back. Sun Reality, whatever rain, all these things you mentioned, right? I also seen it, and when I saw the shares yesterday, today it is 5%, 8% up like that. People are listening to him and buying.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of more information that we as a retail don't have. They have more information as compared to us. So
They do bulk deals.
yes.
Yeah.
On the counter
Insider,
of the counter.
So yes, that is
Yeah.
something that they
Yeah. Edelweiss has that lady, right? I forgot her name.
Yeah.
Radhika something.
It was
right?
there in the this thing also.
Yeah.
What
So
was
I thought when it corrects, probably he can try to get in.
Radhika.
Hopefully, waiting for the correction.
Yes.
Yeah. So Zerodha is a nice broker to deal with, right?
Zerodha and Grow, both are good upstocks. All are discounted brokers only, not a.
HDFC Sky, what do you think about HDFC Sky? Any experience around that?
They will charge you more because they are not specifically into stock marketing. They are into banking and loan giving services. So go for these Zerodha, Grow, upstocks. All are equally good. All are equally good.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Have you identified the stocks? किसी में pattern बन रहा है कुछ? Yeah, you didn't do your homeworks.
Swagat, you were saying that I'll identify.
Trading.
निकल गया.
No.
Turn on your cameras first.
I'm cooking. I can't turn on my camera now.
Okay.
Sorry.
So how did you like the course? What did you
Yeah.
find interesting and what all things you learned?
Actually, we're waiting for the tips from your side for stock pattern formation.
Okay, so tips I've told you before. If you've taken the screenshot, you might have got it.
I have
In the
recorded
class itself, I've given a lot of tips.
Lux Industries, Mr. Bector Foods.
Lot of stocks I told you in the class.
Yes.
Below 200 DEMA, there are a lot of stocks. You can note those stocks,
So if you
but
want
you
to
can
note,
keep for
you can just also track it. I'll just let you.
Ujjivan Small Finance Bank is below 200 DEMA. Then
So PNG Hygiene is trading around close to 200 DEMA. Bata India is the stock is trading below 200 DEMA. Nestle India is close to 200 DEMA, but not very close to, but it has gone up. Once it comes down, you can acquire it. Apart from that, Angel One is below 200 DEMA. If it follows the pattern of strategy one that I've told you, then you can consider. Apart from that, SIS is below 200 DEMA, and of course, it is also forming a good pattern that you can observe. VIP Industries is below 200 DEMA. Sheila Foam is also forming the strategy one that I told you on the
What is
first.
Sheila? What?
Sheila Foam.
SIS.
Okay.
Sheila Foam is there.
Black, red, green,
Yes.
and candle closing below that.
Relaxo Footwear is below 200 DEMA. Yes. So all these stocks
And a
are
lot
there.
of banking stocks are also below 200 DEMA. When they'll move, then they'll give you good returns. Right now, banking stocks are not moving.
ME
But
Organics.
right now you can also see in investing EVA
BCD
and
Bank.
solar, you will get good returns like very frequently.
Yes.
In the previous batch, we told Sonata, the next day Sonata moved about 5-6%.
10%, not just 5-6%.
Oh my God.
Towards the end, it was that only.
I'll call you before I purchase it. What trade?
Now you have to do your homework also.
Well, how about Bikaji, some railway, some supplier of food, right? Bikaji food or something?
Now-
Bikaji is good.
It is good, but do your fundamental analysis. I've already told you each and every element that is important.
Yes.
See on the trading view whether it's forming any pattern or not. Now you've taken the whole course, now also you're depending on us.
No.
That is really bad.
No, just
You practice technicals and fundamentals, do it yourself for few companies, then eventually you'll develop some confidence that these are good stocks, I can put in my money. You can look for sectors also, like we told you, you can look for sectors. If you want like frequent returns, then go for sectors. Which sectors are moving, invest in those stocks, and you will just get returns in few days only.
So
Like
those
we
sectors,
right now invested in Inox Wind, so that stock gave a boom. Then
anything less than 200-day moving average is
That
generally
is the best thing that you can
like
do.
in every business,
bare
what
minimum.
we do, what a businessman do, buy things for cheap and sell it for more. The simplest thing that we can do in stock market, buy a thing that is available at cheaper
But
price,
try and buy all the quality stocks. In that, your return will be assured.
and you will not be stuck. Like you don't have to put any stop losses in these things because the companies are really good. You'll not be stuck anywhere.
Okay.
SW Solar, I think, was told. Ancient Paints, that has also given a good run up. Indigo Paints, Equitas, Mahindra and Mahindra. So all these things have
So
already given
when
a
these good
run.
companies like Polycap fell when it was in news, so that time it fell around 10 to 15% one day, and next day also for 2-3 days continuously the stock fell. So it's a good company, and everyone in the real estate use Polycap buyers. So probably you can look for these companies and like these fundamentally good companies and invest in those companies because eventually they'll give you returns. If a company is going 10 to 15% within a day, that is very good. Then probably you can think of acquiring it.
So
Okay.
I think everybody's clear with all the things. If you have any doubt, you can ask on WhatsApp. We will be there for you. Apart from that, I just wanted to take a review. How did you like the course? And if you can just explain the course in one word, then probably it will be really helpful. And also turn on your cameras first.
Yeah, we are going to be put into a group, right? We want to be part of the community,
Yes, we'll
not
make
just
a big
Instagram.
call.
Instagram is open. Now now that we are there in the private community, right? It's
Yes, we'll make
your
a big,
students.
yes, we'll make a bigger group wherein you guys also will be included.
That will be good.
Yes, if you guys can turn on the cameras and let us know.
What was the aha moment? You you didn't ever knew about that concept, and what is the great thing about? Was it worth it? Was the course worth it? What was the most aha moment?
The aha moment is for me technicals. Looking at a simple moving thing, right? And looking at that, okay, you can do this, right? Provided you have the time bandwidth, looking at things, you will basically have opportunities during the course of the year. Right? Things move in cycles and things like that. Opportunities are always there in the market. It's
Yes.
about the time you need to spend. And the second thing is around the fundamentals, right? How it is all related, right? Fundamentals is another thing which I've learned. Learned how to look at fundamentals and technical together.
That is something that you've learned. What about you, Deepak?
Oh, whole series was a aha moment for me.
What?
A whole 5 days series was aha moment for me.
Thank you. So is that something that you learned new, or is it that you know already all the things?
No,
you-
definitely. Some most few of the things I came to know while through your lectures.
Okay.
What is the best thing that you learned?
What is the best thing that you learned?
Can't say right now.
Anything in technicals
Or
that
in
you can remember?
fundamentals that you remember?
Today, the way you explained balance sheet,
Okay.
some of the things I came to know today only while you were explaining how to check the balance sheet or profit loss statement of the companies.
Yeah. What about you, Swagat? Swagat, are you there?
He is not there, I think.
Yes, I'm there.
Turn on your camera first.
Switching on.
Are you still cooking?
Done.
Okay. So what did you learn new? Is that something that you learn or you knew it already?
No, I got some technical knowledge and fundamental knowledge too. I never been analyzed technical analysis for the stocks.
Okay.
It's look different for my strategies, but for your strategy it suits.
Okay.
So that
Okay. So how can you describe this particular course in one word?
it's worth of money, and it will be very, and it is very excellent course. I would suggest to everyone.
Okay. That's a typical answer. What new did you learn?
I learned the fundamental analysis about the stock companies and the stocks. Before I know only a little bit, but for now, but after the course, I just know a little bit deeper into the knowledge of fundamental things, and I can do analysis for the some of the companies too. So
Okay. So let's just, okay, then if you guys have any doubt or something of that sort, we'll be there for you. You can always ask. Yes.
I picked up this book. I don't know if you are able to see it.
It is all white. You're not able to see.
You're not able to see.
You have a background.
Maybe that's why.
You're not able to see.
Not.
What's
Even-
the name?
What's the name? Tell us the name.
Warren Buffett and the Interpretation of Financial Statement.
Yeah.
It's a good book.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett, anything associated with Warren Buffett is good.
Yeah. About the financial thing, balance sheet, quarterly things, and things like that. Right? You have kind of gone through with that knowledge. I will go through this, right? Then things will get
Yes.
into the brain.
Mhm.
2-3 times. It's like Bhagavad Gita. I have to read it, and whatever screener, then it all sinks in. It has to come like that, right? See, you guys are doing it
Mhm.
rather than blindly doing. I think I won't be blindly doing anymore.
Yes, that is important.
Swagat, I wanted to ask one thing.
yes,
You have
Arpita.
taken so many courses from so many places.
No, so many. 2, 3.
2, 3. What is different about this course?
And this is like short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Like, what was different from those courses? This is short and sweet, that is good. But
Yeah.
what
But they have, see, they said everything like too much knowledge, because too much knowledge also dangerous, you know.
Yes, we do need to do PhD.
You just only done like simple things, and you said only few things, and it's best for the analyzing, not too much knowledge. So if you have too much knowledge, also we are confused.
Deepak ji, have you also learned stock market from somewhere, or this is the first time that you have learned?
No, I had been in the stock market since last 6 months,
Okay.
and I had some investments. The time the defense rally was there just 2 months back.
Okay. So you enjoyed that rally?
Yeah, I enjoyed that, but afterwards again market fell twice, thrice. I think by 1,000 or 1,500 points.
There have been prediction, no, it'll fall, it'll fall, it'll fall.
Yeah,
Tomorrow, I think it will fall. Let's see.
yeah. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow it will fall. Let's see. Not really sure because we cannot predict the market.
Yeah, you cannot.
We are not here to time.
So-
By 7 days back, why did it fall? I didn't know. Some 1,500 points in a day.
Some people are predicting all these big shots. A few people, 15 to 20% correction sometime is
So
going to
that will
come.
be a good opportunity for us to purchase things at a cheaper price.
But our
Whenever market
Yeah.
runs, everyone says that will be correction. Whenever runs, there will be correction.
Then we'll be
I don't know.
for that. We'll
The
invest.
correction is not happening big actually. Last 1 year, 5%, 7%, the very small correction is not big. One election day, that was the only opportunity, I guess. Other than that, there is no big opportunity.
Let's see.
No,
We can time the market, but we can always go to our strategies.
have
and-
you got the Adani stock when the Adani stock fell down?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
Adani Power today ran quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think in a
But
day,
today it has given a good run up.
yeah,
A lot
All
of
the
Adani
other
stocks
stocks have
gave
given
a
a
lot
good
of
run
run.
today itself. It has grown. I mean,
even jewelry stocks are running right
yes.
now.
Yeah. Kalyan. Yeah.
Yeah,
Titan.
So you don't see
TBGN,
ethical
Kalyan,
things
Titan.
in where when you buying this Adani shares, nothing about ethics. When you invest,
Eventually, he has so many ports. He's a big player, and
yeah,
he has employed so many people. He cannot be like you. You anyways have to trust.
correct.
He has what all ports, a lot of ports he has leased for 100 years. So he's playing big.
Yeah, a big fish, too big as a fish.
He can
Similar to Reliance Ambani, right? These guys, whatever they do, it's like a touching of a gold. Geo Financial, maybe it will double, maybe in 2-3 years, 4 years, something like that.
Yes. So we can look for a
Yeah.
smaller fish which has a potential that it can grow up big, like the names we've already mentioned in the class.
Yeah, yeah. No, these guys are, because they are connected with the government, they are connected all these things, right? Ethics and things like that. See, it comes and goes, but eventually it recovers. Adani gave a good opportunity. It's basically you got to have that guts to get in. Now, see, with attending classes, right? Then it gives a little bit confidence. It's not just me
You're not
trying to do it.
blindly doing things, you have a knowledge wherein you can apply, and of course, you can make good money out of it.
I have
Yeah.
done analysis when I'm in engineering, like before long 2019 or 20, I think. After that, it's long gap.
in engineering also they teach you stock market.
No, I have learned from outside.
By
Okay.
They won't teach the stock market.
Like we as economic students, we were never taught about. We were taught a little bit about derivatives, but not about stock market much.
Really? Yeah, economics, they will teach something about the,
We have idea about the economy, but not
not about the stock.
stock market. We are not taught stock markets.
Okay.
We did it and learned it.
Mine is totally different field.
Yeah, chemical engineering you told, right?
No, electronics.
Electronics.
So should we wrap this session?
Yeah.
Should we wrap this session?
Yeah.
Heavy hearts.
Thank you.
Can you guys do one thing
Yeah.
Yeah.
after this class? A
Yes.
request.
What?
We want a small write-up. How did you like the course?
Okay. I
Don't
will write a paragraph, not only small writing.
okay. But you have to do this. A
Yeah,
small
no problem.
request from my side.
Yeah, sure.
Don't forget it. After the class, you have to write this message and share it.
Yeah. And I seen you, one of you guys interviewing. It's a promotion. I will also come and talk. You can put in Instagram.
Yes, of course.
To be popular branding. Yeah.
Swagat seems sleepy.
No, just before like half an hour I woke up.
Okay, that's right. Okay, you were not at the hospital.
I went to hospital and slept because I went for night work from 10 to 6, and after that I went to hospital and I came, I slept and I woke up. So that's it.
Chalo, let's just wrap this session. And if you guys have any doubt, you can ask on the group itself.
Yeah, I have your contact number. I will ask you.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you. All right.
hey, you guys, that number is, you guys you would pick up, right? The call now.
Yeah, we will
You
reply
can
to the
text.
message
You can text and we'll reply.
Yeah, sure.
whenever we'll get the time. We'll reply to your message.
Yeah, okay.
But you have to share the message right
Yeah.
after the class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's form a group and let's be in touch, right? Like build the community. I believe in, yeah, that will be nice actually.
Yeah.
Right, you have done what, 5 batches now or 10 batches?
Yeah, we have quite a few students. We'll add.
They will
we'll
have
add
what together.
sometime. After this month, we'll add.
Yeah, it will be
I could
good
have joined
actually.
the first
Yeah.
batch, but I didn't get time.
Sorry.
I could have joined in the first batch,
Okay.
but I didn't get time to join. So I just delayed.
No worries. Now you listen to the lectures that you missed and try and apply, and don't just
Yeah.
rely on 2% of return. Make a bigger return.
Eventually, if
Yeah,
you're
I'm
playing
doing-
on stop losses, no, then you will make small return. But in a longer term, when you will see the whole accumulated balance sheet of yours, of the trades that you have done, eventually you will find that the return, the total percentage return is not that great. After the class, you try and find how many trades you were profitable, and I think you journal your trades, right? So when you will like find out all the trades, you will see that the return is not that great. But if you will follow this game, no, the returns are humongous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's just wrap this session.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for your valuable knowledge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.